All right, let's jump right in because today we're basically becoming linguistic detectives. We're about to uncover this incredible ancient family that's been hiding in plain sight in the words we use every single day.
I mean, really think about that for a second. It sounds kind of impossible, right? A language from ancient India and the English we speak today, they're separated by thousands of miles and thousands of years. But what if I told you they're connected in a way that's going to absolutely blow your mind? Okay, so check this out. Our very first clue. In Sanskrit, the word for foot is pud. Does that sound just a little bit familiar? Yeah, that similarity is no accident. It's the first thread we're going to pull on in a much, much bigger story. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Come on, that could just be a fluke, a total coincidence. But stick with me here. This one word, it's like a breadcrumb on a trail leading us back to a shared history, a deep pattern that we're about to piece together.
So, let's start building our case. If this connection is real, we should find more evidence, right? Well, it turns out, once you start looking, the evidence is pretty much everywhere. Okay, get ready for this. In Sanskrit, the word unt means the end. That word travels, morphs into antha in Old Germanic, and boom, that's the direct ancestor of our English word end. Or how about utar, which means to speak out? Yep, that's where we get utter. And then there's anai, meaning injustice, which slowly evolved into our word annoy. See, one or two could be a coincidence, but this many? No way. The pattern is undeniable.
At this point, we have to move past the whole idea of coincidence. There's clearly something going on here. There's been an influence. But that just leads to the next massive question. How? How on earth did these ancient words travel so far and wide?
To answer that, we have to follow the trail of human migration. I mean, words don't just float through the air on their own. People carry them. And this trail takes us right to the heart of the story of the English language itself. So, the history of England is really a history of one migration after another. After the Romans left, these Germanic tribes like the Angles and the Jutes started arriving. And this is a huge deal because the name England literally just means land of the Angles. And they didn't just bring themselves, they brought their language, a language that was already carrying these ancient roots. And this is the perfect example of how it all worked. Remember the Sanskrit pud? As it traveled west, it moved into Germanic languages. And languages have these funny little habits, these predictable sound shifts. The soft D sound consistently hardened into a T, giving them the word foot. Then, when the Angles brought that word to Britain, it eventually smoothed out into the English word we use today, foot. An incredible journey across thousands of miles and centuries, all packed into one tiny word.
But here's where the story gets even bigger. This isn't just about English. Not by a long shot. This ancient echo is bouncing all across the European continent. It's a true linguistic family reunion.
And you see this pattern just pop up again and again. For example, the Sanskrit word for arrival was agaman. Sound familiar? It's right there in the English come and the Dutch komen. Or what about vahan for vehicle? That's the direct ancestor of the German Wagen, and of course the English wagon. It's the same linguistic DNA showing up in all its different cousins. And believe me, we're not just cherry-picking a few words here. We're talking about entire branches of a massive language family tree. From Germanic languages like German and English, to Romance languages like French and Spanish, all the way to Baltic languages, they all sprout from the same origin. They're all carrying these remarkable little fossils that prove they're part of one big extended family. But here's where our story takes a really surprising turn. Because while these ancient echoes in Europe are absolutely fascinating, the most powerful, the most living legacy of Sanskrit isn't in Europe at all. It's actually found much closer to its original home. Just look at these numbers. They're astounding. In the modern South Indian language of Malayalam, an estimated 90% of the vocabulary is derived from Sanskrit. 90%. For Telugu, it's around 80%. And for Tamil, it's 60%. This goes way beyond just influence. It's the very foundation of their vocabulary. So that kind of begs the question, why is the percentage so high in the South, but a little lower in the North? Well, history gives us the answer. Over time, North India experienced major influences from Persian and Arabic through invasions and trade, and those languages got woven deeply into languages like Hindi. But all the while, the southern languages largely kept a more direct line to their Sanskrit roots. Okay, so let's bring it all home. We started with a simple word like foot.
And we've traveled across continents and thousands of years of human history. All the evidence, all the clues, they all point to one really powerful conclusion.
What this all means is that language isn't just a tool we use. Our words are living artifacts. They're like little maps of human history that we carry around with us every single day. They carry the stories of our ancestors, their incredible journeys, and the amazing fact that so many of us from all over the world share this common origin.
And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If a word as simple as foot can tell a story that's thousands of years old, what other secrets, what other forgotten histories are hiding in plain sight in the very next sentence you're about to say?